Hey athletes, today we're talking about the differences and how you can navigate a bunch of group classes. So, just for simplicity factor, let's just say there are 3 types of group classes. One that's meant to maybe correct your body, like a yoga class, a Pilates class. Maybe it's lower impact. It's meant to teach you things, but maybe also correct your core and make you stronger in a core sense where you can control your body a lot better. Then let's say there's high intensity classes, right? Your traditional boot camp class, your high intensity. Those classes, you're doing a lot of body weight stuff. You know, the whole point of that class is to work as hard as you possibly can, as fast as you can, do as many repetitions as you can. And then there's the strength classes where it's all about, let's get you stronger, let's put on some muscle, let's do things like that. So just for our purposes, let's talk, you're new to the gym. Okay, if you're new to the gym, we want to make sure that you're first of all building a good base, right? If you learn an exercise incorrectly, I mean, all of your coaches, anybody you're going to run into in the future, they're going to have complications trying to outwork your bad habits. So we always want to think good habits first. So let's just use our schedule for group training. You're going to want to do some type of that quality and core exercise, right? And hopefully you can separate it out a few days and then possibly throw in one of those high intensity classes. 3 times a week is going to be pretty good, especially if it's your first few weeks. You have some extra weight to lose. You're not very comfortable doing it. The last thing you'd ever want to do is jump into a class where the whole purpose is to get stronger and put on some muscle and use heavier weights. Because if you don't even understand how to move your body, how are you supposed to use more weight? And no, using more weight isn't going to help you get into a better position. That's just not the case. So if your gym only offers high intensity classes, I highly recommend you do some research and you listen to us about how you can fix your body. Now, let's say you want to lose weight. That's your primary goal. Josh, I don't necessarily care if I put on muscle at this point. I just want to lose weight. Great. Let's work out 4 days a week. Okay, that way you can recover. Now, a 5th day, we're going to say is an active rest day. Maybe that's where you go on a walk. Maybe you just do some cardio, something like that. But either one of those quality classes are always going to be beneficial for you. Why? Because you can experience a new weight early. You can train one side of your body over the other. You can build into better ranges of motions and things like that. Then you're going to want to hit 2 high intensity classes. That's going to work out great. But remember, with your high intensity classes, we're going to want to separate those out by a few days. And then finally pick one of the days where it's all about trying to get a little bit stronger, okay? That way we can put on some muscle. And that way when you're in your high intensity classes and even your quality class, you'll be better suited to lift more weight. In a sense, more weight lifted is more work done, more calories you burn. Then, let's say your primary goal is to gain muscle. You want to steer clear of those high intensity classes if that's your only goal. If all you want to do is put on size, not necessarily lose body fat or anything like that, doing a really high intensity class, that's only going to drain your body and take away from those days where strength is the priority. Okay, so you probably guessed it. You want to do your strength days, and then you probably want to do both of your quality and core days. Now in those classes, if you have the opportunity, lift as much weight as you can, right? If you're doing a timed interval for 30 seconds, that doesn't mean you have to try to do 100 repetitions. Maybe you only do 5 or 6 and you go really, really heavy and you struggle quite a bit. Even on your quality and core days, trying to build your base, those days can be just as insane and hard as the other days where you're primarily trying to do strength. And then finally, if you're trying to do a little bit of both, lose a little weight, gain some muscle, you have to decide, do you want to lose more weight than you gain in muscle, or do you want to gain more muscle and lose just a little bit of weight? From there, we can kind of play with it. So no matter what, I want you to do one of those quality core days, okay? It's always a good idea, again, building a better base so that you can move better. And those classes aren't going to be easy, they're just going to be different, okay? Then you have to make the choice. Do you want to do 2 high intensity classes? Do you only want to do 1 and maybe a strength? Or do you want to do 2 strength classes? You got to make that choice, okay? So let's say you want to gain a little bit of muscle. This high intensity day, go all out, okay? This day you're going to be a little drained because you can't lift a whole lot after you've completely gassed yourself. And then when you come back for your next strength day, that's when you're going to go crazy, right? You're going to be fresh, you're going to be recovered. It's really hard, again, to gain muscle or try to challenge your muscle if you just came from a really high intensity class, and then vice versa. So if your goal is primarily to lose weight, you want to put the emphasis where you need it, right into your high intensity classes, and then pick either of the strength days to do. Now, I always recommend at most that you work out 3 days in a row, okay? At most. Maybe your first day is going to be the most important day for you, or maybe your third day is going to be the most important day, or maybe your second day, right? If your second day is the most important, just remember that third day is going to be, you're going to be a little fatigued. But I never recommend 4 days in a row. Why? Because the nature of group classes are meant to kind of beat you up, right? They're not just, hey, we're going to work your chest. Hey, we're going to work your legs. A lot of times it's total body, and holy cow, okay? If you go, one side of your body at a time, but you work your whole body, then you just use your body weight to do some high intensity stuff, and then you add weight to all of the exercises. I mean, you hit your total body 3 different ways. Hopefully it's 3 different 3 different sets of exercises. You're focusing on different things. It's not just shoulder presses every day, okay? But you need an extra day of rest, okay? Working out 6 or 7 days a week, that's just unheard of, okay? Especially if you have an actual goal other than just be at the gym 7 days a week. So I highly recommend 4 days, and you pick 2 days where you're gonna go crazy, one of those days where you're trying to fix your body, and then that third day, it's kind of more of a moderate day. Then you take your active rest day, maybe it's just cardio, maybe you do a yoga class, maybe you get in the sauna, whatever, be a little active on that 5th day, and then there you have it, guys. You'll see the results you're looking for.